Hey, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Paul,
And I'm Patrick.
and we're going to be asking the question, why do people walk out of movies?
We do videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Check out our video section. There's loads of stuff there that you might like. While you're at it, if you do like this video, hit a little like. If you feel like subscribing to get more of our good stuff, hit subscribe and maybe even that little notification bell. We'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. That's the housekeeping taken care of. So why do people walk out of movies?
So, we know some of the general famous moments, which is The Exorcist is one of a good example of it. People were kind of discussing about the subject matter, scared, horror kind of film kind of thing. We also get that people walk out because they're going to the bathroom. Don't touch that. Don't comment that.
Yeah, usually they come back, and if they don't come back, maybe go and check on them. That's just you don't want to lose a friend at the cinema because you're like they're in the toilet for quite a long time.
I've gone to a lot of this movie and they haven't come back.
It's a 3-hour epic.
So so we have some of the kind of more famous ones. As we said, The Exorcist is one. We got The Blair Witch.
Yeah,
and that was also because of the horror things.
Yes,
but that also conceived of
handicam
stuff.
It did actually, and The Blair Witch, another good example of that's Cloverfield, the original Cloverfield. Strangely, some of the Born Identity, the original one, the idea of shaky cam. And if you suffer from this out there, my heart goes out to you because it's got to be awful. Some people react to shaky cam, the idea of shaky video. They have a physical reaction to that, and it brings on physical symptoms, much like vertigo.
Yeah.
So I understand if you end up being exposed to that and it's making you feel unwell, of course you're going to leave. That makes sense.
So it's kind of motion sickney kind of thing.
Exactly,
which is an interesting one because you were talking recently about Mother.
Yes. Mother falls, like I watched Mother recently. It's on Netflix, so you can check it out. Mother's a Darren Aronofsky film that is quite intense. Intense is the best way to describe it. It's very hard to describe, and I'm not going to give anything away. But a lot of people found it too hard to stay with, if you know what I mean. It's a relentlessly, it's a very intriguing film. It's very tense. Mm-hmm. But once it starts hitting you with certain, not just creepy things, but very confusing things, very off-putting things, it really becomes quite intense in its nature, and it's an escalating nature. So a lot of people feel kind of overwhelmed by that. Watching it now, I really dug it. I suggest you watch it. I'm not going to say it's a great film. I'm not going to say it's a bad film. I don't want to pass any judgment on it. I enjoyed watching it in a sort of interactive way. I found it very immersive because I was having a reaction to it myself.
Yeah, you were getting into it a lot more, and that environment of pressure was really weighing on you.
Yeah, so and I understand how it might overwhelm some people. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the overwhelmed feeling as much as it turned into just pure intrigue and me kind of almost shouting at the screen, what is this supposed to mean? What does that mean? So I enjoyed it from that point of view, but I can definitely understand how it might drive somebody to, you know what, too much of a roller coaster for me right now. I've got to get out of this.
Yeah.
A little bit of claustrophobia or agoraphobia, whatever way you want to look at it.
Okay.
So that's another one that's maybe a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, because as we said from The Exorcist and a bit of Blair Witch stuff, those ones were more kind of like people not being able to take the scared tactic of it. Because I think actually the Paranormal Activities, the first one, did that have a possible... Some people walked out of it. It probably wasn't as famous.
I'm assuming it did scare people out of the room. Yeah.
So those were more scary kind of things. But I've had a personal experience of other reasons.
Yeah, actually... You've walked out on films. I have not. You've walked out of the cinema. So give us why you walked out or what you walked out of for a start.
I'm gonna start with this one. It's not the first time I've walked out of a movie, but it will be more in people's minds. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And
good choice to walk out of that. I didn't even go to that because I heard.
Good. Yeah, because I walked out. I got through the film to the part where they just went, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's aliens," and I was just like, "Nope, I'm done." I had to, Indiana Jones always reacts with magic and religious folklore kind of stuff, and I'm up for that, but I'm not up for E.T. being involved in this film.
Yeah, it wasn't a good move.
Yeah, so and I can reenact exactly what I did, which is, fuck this.
And that was it.
Just walked up, just got out, and just left the film.
I'm out. Whereas I really like the idea of you in an old-timey kind of very stiff upper lip English way, standing up being like, I think you'll find, sir, Indiana Jones deals with the spiritual and magic, not aliens. Good day. I said good day. Just popcorning everywhere on your way out with a cane and a monocle, perhaps.
Just that good day part is just as I'm doing the corner to the corner. Just going, I said good day.
The head comes back in. I said good day. Indiana does not do aliens.
Yeah, like not even suggesting that film was, you know, the bad film it was. Just that part, I was just like, myself, from an Indiana Jones fan, I was just like, I'm done. Can't handle it. Fuck it. I'm out. And the second film was The Spirit, which is the film that came after Sin City.
The hyper colorized thing when they learned to do that move, and then they made The Spirit. Yeah,
literally Sin City, and then The Spirit came out, and it feels like it was one of those kind of things where it's just like, I don't know which one came first. Like, I don't know which idea was born first, and then the Spirit just did it worse. Because that's the one with Samuel Jackson being the bad guy of Octopus, and it is a terrible film.
Samuel L. Jackson as like the Dr. Octopus.
Not even Doctor.
Not
it was just called Octopus or something like that.
Gotta say, you're not selling to me. I'm not surprised you walked out of that one it was just that bad.
It was so boring, so bad. And as I'm not at that point in my life, I was not like the connoisseur of movies that I am now, you know, kind of thing. So I wasn't like, well, the shots are too long and the lighting is terrible. I was just like, this is just fucking boring. So I gotta leave. And I didn't leave in that moment where it's just like, oh, this is like near the end. I can get away with leaving and stuff.
Oh,
there was like a good hour.
Oh, you were in for long enough, but not close to the end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I left and waited for my friends outside and was just like, I'm done.
Friends with you too. Look, hey, you know, who can blame you if you're bored out of your head and you're just thinking, nah, this ain't for me. That's your own choice. And like, okay, well, let's have a quick little run through some of those reasons why people leave movies. There's the bathroom break and they come back. So fanar, we've all made that joke now. You're disgusted to a point of you find something physically repulsive. You know, 127 days, guy cutting his arm off when he's trapped in the rock. A lot of people left the cinema because they were like, oh, I can't, you know, I feel nauseous. I got to get out of here. Steadicam causing nauseousness. That's unfortunate for those people. That's not cool. There's not liking a film maybe to the point of boredom or because they're about to crap on, you know, your childhood hero a la Indiana Jones. I get it. But then there's the last category, and for me it's the one I'm not okay with. I'll stay. The reason I haven't left a movie, I probably should have left Mission Impossible. I think I mentioned this one before in another video. I laughed my head off watching the original Mission Impossible because I thought it must be a comedy, and everybody else in the room, as the filmmakers intended, thought it was a serious film. I just watch it again. You wouldn't like to see me when I'm angry. It's like Ethan Hunt doing Incredible Hulk. It was all really funny to me. So I should have got up and left because I think I was ruining it for some of the other cinema goers. And
also, you know, you should have, I guess, it's lucky that you saw it in the kind of funny light kind of thing and didn't see it in the kind of like, this is not the...
That's true, actually. But yeah, no, I think out of respect, that's the one I should have left for the rest of the patrons in the theatre. But there's a category which will never cause me to leave. I'm a completionist. I want to know, even if I'm feeling uncomfortable, even if I'm feeling uncomfortable with the topic or with how, you know, with what I'm seeing, if it's gory or scary or whatever. If I've bought my ticket, I stay on the roller coaster till the end. I try and hang on, even if I'm finding it very difficult, because I want to see what the filmmaker wanted to make, what they put out there. I may be glad I stayed, I may not be glad I stayed, but I usually want to stay and find out.
Okay.
So I haven't, if I'd gone to see Indiana Jones, it may well be on the list of the ones I would have left, because I still haven't watched all of it. I've tried, because I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, and I was told never to watch it, and I've seen bits that I now know, like, I can see why this isn't going well.
Okay.
There is a category that I'm building up to where people will leave as a protest, for be that political reasons, religious reasons, mock ethical reasons, whatever it might be, where people want to harumph. Everybody, I'm leaving. They've just mentioned the thing that I'm sensitive about, or the thing that I relate to that I feel that nobody should ever be able to speak about. You can talk about everybody else's difference or life, but you cannot mention mine at all. I get quite saddened by the idea that it's like, oh, I had to leave that film. They mentioned something. Well, what else did they mention? I don't know. I left. Well, what were they going to do with it? I don't know. I left. It's like, well, let's not be childish here. And I think it's a little bit childish to storm off in a, well, I don't care. You can never talk about that.
Yeah, I get your points, because I think with the Jojo Rabbit film, that's going to be a factor, as in people are going to walk out of that because it deals with a very dark time in human history.
Yeah.
And people are going to be just like, oh, the Nazis, I'm getting out of here kind of thing. And you're just like, yeah, but it's, it's a satire on a kind of film with about a kid. Yeah, about a kid whose imaginary friend is Hitler, but they're making a joke out of Hitler already. And it's not just, it's essentially... It feels like it's a film where it's just like it's a kid coming to terms with his world, and how different it is from his kind of view of like things, and that's difficult for a child as well.
I don't know, like I watched the trailer. You've seen the trailer. Personally, I enjoyed the trailer. I'm looking forward to the movie. I don't know if it's going to be a good movie or a bad movie. I don't know if they're going to deal with the tough topic well or not. But I'm certainly not going, you should never even try and deal with that. Do it. If you do it well, great. If you don't do it well, you should have been more careful, because that was a dangerous topic to not be careful around. That's as far as that goes. There should be none of this, well, you can never talk about these things.
Yeah.
That's just a bit silly. And there will be people who will go to that cinema and get up and walk out to say that they walked out of it in some sort of mock heroic way. There's going to be one moment in that film where we're going to watch it and we're going to be like, oh, it's a little bit close to the bone. That's going to be the moment that people are going to be like, no, I'm done. Which is sad, because that's not how any art form should be consumed. Go in with an open mind, come out with your critique, but don't just go in expecting to come out halfway through because you want to protest it. Don't go in at all. If you want to protest it, don't go and see it.
Well, if you want to protest it, watch the entire film and have an informed discussion about the things that you want to protest.
Oh, well, yeah, in an actual protest sense, yeah, for sure.
That's the smarter thing to do.
Yeah.
Because then at least you have something to say when someone who's seen the film and goes, what are you talking about?
You use the word the smarter thing to do. I think you can tell I'm suggesting these may not be the sharpest tools in the box. While I'm insulting those people, though, I guess there is one thing before we close out this video. There's independent movie. I understand. Independent movie, it's not easy to get noticed. If you are at the Toronto International Film Festival or the Venice Film Festival or Cannes or whatever, you have a movie that half the cinema walks out of. You're kind of hoping that at the next showing, half of the theatre gets up and walks out again, because then reporters are going to take note, the websites are going to take note. All of a sudden your film that you couldn't get any press for is the top story on a lot of news pages.
Yeah.
Free advertising. And as you were saying, there's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah.
In that case, there's such a great thing called free press, because they do not have the budgets to advertise. So people having serious reactions puts it on everybody else's radar. Yeah,
like being infamous in certain respects is it can be a quite good kind of PR move kind of thing. Now, I would like to point out that there's some films that go over that line too much, and they're just like, now you've just made a snuff film.
Well, yeah.
Or you're just trying to offend people.
Yeah, and that's usually not big or clever. But yeah, so it can't be underestimated that sometimes the walkout isn't a bad thing, particularly for the smaller stuff. I don't think it'll ever affect, the big... I don't think Disney are going to be worried that people are going to walk out of the next Mary Poppins or something. That they don't need that kind of marketing. They're not like, let's get Mary Poppins to, throw one of the kids off the roof.
Yeah.
That'll really,
Let's really mix things up here.
Exactly. So yeah, why would you walk out? Give us your call on the... If you ever have, let us know what the film is and why.
So why would you?
I think...
what would push you to do it yourself? Like we're asking the audience, and you haven't walked out of a film. What's the thing that would push you over that edge? Is it just the physicalness of something?
Yeah, no,
it's just the physical.
The only reason I would leave obviously there's reasons like I'm feeling physically ill, I've eaten bad popcorn and I got to get out, or whatever, the place is on fire. Those stupid answers.
Yeah, let's not say environmental or something, but the subject matter or something.
Like I say, I will sit through something that makes me uncomfortable. If I, to see it out to the end. So the thing that'll make me leave, it would have to be something physical. It would be if I'm watching something that is intense to the point that it's making me physically ill. I'm not going to throw up in a cinema.
Okay.
And if it's one of those things that if I'm watching something, and it's never happened to me, that grosses me out that much or gets me enough emotionally that it makes me feel nauseous or I'm going to throw up, I'm probably going to leave and not go back in because I don't want to risk feeling that way again.
Yeah.
But it would have to be a physical response.
There's no emotional...
No, like there are topics that I never want to have to face up to in cinema, and an awful lot of them I've had to, because there are things that we've all seen in cinema and you're like, that's the worst of humanity. But I think that's why it's important that I maybe sit through them and see what's being said. If it turns out that it ends up being like a snuff film, I'll be very upset that I stayed till the end.
Yeah.
But I won't. I'll be upset at what they've done, not that I waited to see. So yeah, I don't think you're going to get me walking out of things. I'm a completionist in that sense. I really do think I might have walked out of Indiana Jones just because I have so much love for the character that it would be very tough watching them do what they were doing to that character. So yeah, I'll hang on in there until I'm, putting popcorn in the seat in front of me.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah. So So once again, what would make you walk out of a movie? What if you have walked out of a movie before? What was the movie and why? That'll be an interesting one. Did you also walk out of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
We're really kicking the crap out of that one.
Yeah,
it deserves it though. So on that note,
yeah,
I've been Patrick,
and I've been Paul,
and together we are Heroes Out.